Do we just talk about it, or do we actually play the
We're
episode?
live right now, everybody, ladies and
All right.
gentlemen. Thank you for tuning into another exciting live stream edition of the Ravens Flock.
All right, all right.
Thank you very much. Instead of a trio, we have a quartet. I am your host, Jose Casabona. Joining me right here to my left is the host of Los Amigos Play, Mr. Angel Mendez.
Pleasure to be here.
And joining us by the right is the host of the Black Files, Mr. Juan Arouse.
Damn right. How's it going, everybody?
The literal backbone of our production here at the Ravens Flock, putting in the man hours to make sure that you guys are satisfied with our brilliant media content.
The day he dies, this show ends.
You actually, yes. Actually, yes. And
Kill him now. Get me out of
How
this jail.
do you premiere?
Listen, man. I don't put me in front of that computer. I'm going to toss it out the window and claim it was witchcraft.
Oh, my goodness.
And joining us on this special edition is Michael Mendez, Angel's brother, and the former full-time member of the Fox roster. Now he's coming in as a special guest
He's a high
for this
schooler.
week's edition. He joins us on Los Amigos Play Live. And the reason why we got...
You don't have to say all that, you know. What are you going to
Yes,
say?
I do. Yes, I do. We need to explain. There's a continuity.
We're here to talk about video games and shit.
Michael Mendez, born November 2nd, 19...
He could have shown up recently to do a severe case of high school.
Anyway,
But unfortunately, thankfully, since everybody's kind of dying right now, he was out a bit of a reprieve.
Yep.
Now, last week, we are thankful for those who are watching and sharing their feedback from last week's live stream when we discussed on the politics going on outside of the geek world. And we actually did receive some positive feedback. We had one of the nerds commenting nonstop on the live stream. We also got a few messages. I also got a few messages privately. You know, words of praise for the live stream, like saying, "Hey, you know, the stream was dope. You know, you guys hit your mark. It was awesome."
Yay. So we thank you for that, and we ask you to please continue supporting us here. And, of course, support the Ravens Flock, and please help support the movements that we're going to be talking about tonight. But first, we want to get into some of the good news here.
Yeah!
That way, we can go into the depressing shit later on, and then we'll cap it off with the weird con stuff going on.
But I thought we were going to do it the other way
Oh,
around.
I thought we were going to save the best for last.
Yeah, I thought we were doing
No,
the PS5.
start good.
What we're doing?
Start good.
I thought the PS5 thing was going to be at the end.
But what the hell do I need this guy for? Get him out of here. I'll
Well,
call you
shit,
in
I'm
1
sorry,
hour.
bro. You're disowned from
See,
this
that's what
family.
you
Go
get.
divorce your girlfriend right now.
See, that's what you get.
Sorry,
All right.
this.
That's what you get.
Oh, no, he's been literally cut out of the world.
What?
Bro.
What?
Bro.
Oh.
I can't believe he died so suddenly. Sometimes I can still hear his voice.
All right.
I'm right here, assholes.
Okay, so, yeah, it's...
What order do you want to start this?
I say
Let's
we-
go. You
Let's
tell
leave,
me.
All
let's
right.
leave the PS5 thing for the end.
Let's start with the developments, the updates on the movement itself, because we have talked about this, and
Yes.
you've actually has some things to share with us.
Yes, that's right. And what we're talking about, of course, is updates on the Black Lives Matter movement and developments related therein. One thing that we didn't actually get a chance to discuss while we were doing this on Facebook Special Edition live stream we did last week was actually an article that we had discovered as part of our discussion and research in this. And one thing that I wanted to bring up in this was unexpected support from a very well-known singer in the geek and video game community. I believe you might recognize this woman's name. She goes by the name Utada Hikaru.
Oh yes,
I think she did something for a small company called Square Enix regarding a very small indie title known as Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, totally something.
It wasn't that well known. I heard it faded from the public.
Yeah,
yeah.
with, like,
Blase.
totally uninteresting sequels that span the course of almost 20 years and have entered the general zeitgeist of the geek community.
A surprisingly small
Keeping
time
things
frame,
very
I think,
simple
but-
and very clean.
All right, jokes aside, what has she said?
Okay, this is actually an article found on Sora News 24. Opens up a discussion on regarding racism on Japanese Twitter, and I'm actually reading this as close to verbatim as I can here.
Oh,
When it comes to this article, let's see. As the Black community in the U.S. and around the world continues to protest and fight against systemic racism and oppression, Japanese citizens might be scratching their heads as to why. Despite the increasing population of foreign nationals in the country, its people still doesn't have much experience on racism. and may have trouble understanding where these protests are coming from. But when Japanese-American singer Hikaru Utada weighed in on the issue, she helped spark a much-needed conversation among Japanese citizens about the significance of these protests and the presence of racism around the world. She spoke about this last week on June 4th. And
really?
Yeah, like I said, we didn't get to bring this part up, so this is actually going to be rather important here.
Okay.
Her quote, it's tweet says, "Racism might not click immediately for Japanese people born and raised in Japan, but what's happening in America right now might be a historic breakthrough that will be recorded in the world history books of the future. I hope it is." So she goes on and continues by saying, let's see here, trying to get it to scroll.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
The racism against black people that occurs in the U.S. is not a simple matter of thinking of people as different races and holding discriminatory thoughts about them. It is a problem that has deep roots in the government and society. I hope people who don't know much about black history and the current state of affairs, or who only know a little about them, will take this as an opportunity to learn more. Suffice to say, that tweet had gained a lot of support, a lot of impact, lots of people retweeting it, lots of people commenting on it, and it sort of speaks to Japanese culture, like why we don't hear anything about them saying anything supportive or anything about it in Japan for themselves. So they're really thinking like, what's going on? Why should we care? And Utada's actually helping spell it out. Like, okay, you don't know why? Here's a reason to like this shit going on is actually a good reason to start learning.
Yes.
Michael, I am bringing you back in from the dead.
Brother,
that is actually
alive.
Say something.
You
are now undead.
Yeah, I wanted to say like yeah, I do agree. I do think that Japan or in other countries, which I guess is already happening, like mostly in Europe, Greece, some parts in Africa, should care about this whole movement and everything that's occurring. We did care. A majority of Americans and like a bunch of other countries did care about the Hong Kong protests that happened last year. So I think it's honestly it's a great thing that Japan, because we care about them, it's about time they care about us.
Yes,
absolutely. And I completely agree with Utada Hikaru. In fact, I think this should go without saying. Well, rather, what, I'll say it anyways. Like, even if you don't understand them, you still, in some form, like, it's going to affect you as well. Like, and it's very important that we're all educated with this history, with everything, with current events and whatnot. And I'm trying to articulate the best way I can. And I'm glad that a lot of celebrities and a lot of people out there are actually stepping up, voicing their opinions, doing everything they can in some capacity to show their support for this important movement. Because until we do something for the Black Lives Matter movement, all lives matter, that's not a thing.
Remember, kids,
all lives can't matter unless they matter.
Remember, kids, it's not really a white privilege. It's a black penalty because they're the ones getting it rougher than everyone else. Now,
Right, so
that being said, while I certainly understand why a country like Japan, which is known for being very isolated even now, that's not to say they don't care. I just like to say they are not as invested on it because, well, like I said, they're isolated. To them, this is something happening literally on the other side of the world. But nonetheless, we really do sincerely appreciate any support they throw at us because we like the fact that the rest of the world is becoming aware that there's some bad shit going down here and it needs to be addressed. Change will happen, and it is happening, slowly and gradually, but surely. We just got to keep going. As many people that I saw online say, we cannot lose momentum now because the moment we do, people will simply move on to the next crisis and happily try to forget this happened.
Yeah, no, this is something we definitely cannot fall back on.
Because otherwise, when history class begins in a few years and we check year 2020, it's just going to be a blank page with a sentence, and then some wild shit went down and nothing else.
Yeah. No, the kids of the next generation, they'll be reading back on the history books and they'll know about this. They'll know about all of this.
No, the problem is that if we don't keep up the momentum,
they won't.
They won't know
Then
about
they won't
this. That's the point that
they'll shrug it off. They'll downplay it. They'll
Pay attention
erase
to people
details.
speaking, man.
They'll do stupid shit. Anything to make you forget and anything to sugarcoat it. Let us not forget, before he died, Martin Luther King was one of the most disliked men in the world.
I think we've covered that last week.
Right.
Yes.
So point in case is, history books don't tell you that. They just tell you how he was a heroic and inspiring figure and he was tragically shot. Yeah, we don't see the fact that by the time he was shot, a lot of people shrugged off and said, good.
Yeah, like,
people were saying like, oh, he's just ruffling people's feathers. He's just trying to make a mountain out of molehills. He's doing this for nothing, for
I gotta
attention.
be honest with you. I kind of feel bad for Lloyd in a completely different way. Besides the fact that he's
George Floyd, you mean?
dead, he's been turned into a martyr now.
Yeah.
So who he was, what he did, or what he meant doesn't matter anymore. Because now in the public consciousness, his name and his death have become verbs, a cause to fight for. And we all know what happens when people find a cause to fight for. They will do anything they can to keep fighting. So on both sides of the field, I kind of feel bad for the man because now he will no longer be remembered as a father or as a friend or as a lover or as a person. He is now an ideal, and that, maybe it's just me, but it makes him both far more and far less than he would actually be. There's something about that just saddens me immensely.
I think I understand what you mean. Like, it's also important to remember the history of the man, while also like not diminishing what his death is actually galvanized and what that means for the world at large. I get what you mean. Like, it's a bit. It feels a little cynical, but I totally understand what you mean by that.
Thank you.
Um,
Remember when V said that ideas cannot be killed because ideas are bulletproof?
Yeah.
right.
Well, that still means that the ideals are the ones getting shot at. That's what I'm saying.
Right, that's true. And of course, the whole thing was about when they started off, like, you can't kiss an idea, you can't hold it, but you can do that with a man and whatever. Like, what about Guy Fawkes, the man? What kind of man was he like? That
No
was
one
like,
knows.
no one knows and no one cares because that's not what's important about him anymore. But in any case, we did also want to bring up another update. Zabe actually found this out.
Yeah, 5 days ago. Like this was posted 5 days ago. But
At the beginning of the week.
Yeah, do you mind? A lot of celebrities, notably BTS, the fan base, have actually matched up and donated, hit the $1 million mark for the Black Lives Matter donation.
Very nice.
All
And not just
donation specific.
Give me a second. Let me pull up the article here.
All right, because it's not like Black Lives Matter is an organization.
This was posted by the St. Louis Post-Dispatch here. Let's see. BTS fan base has matched their $1 million donation to the Black Lives Matter movement, the South Korean boy band, and their record label Big Hit Entertainment through their financial support behind the campaign in light of the death of George Floyd, but decided to remain tight-lipped about their donation. So let's see.
So they just donated without saying much, or
I guess.
I guess so. And
Maybe that's for the best, because if they started bragging about it, people would just assume he's brownie point fishing.
Yeah. Another celebrity out there of noticeable WWE name. I mean, we all know him. John Cena actually also matched the donation amount from the BTS fan base and donated $1 million for Black Lives Matter as well.
Nice.
Yes, indeed. John Cena. Look, John Cena
is
is
always been.
John Cena is
I'm trying
a
to catch
bona
up.
fide awesome dude. Like not long ago, he pitched in and donated money for the things that happened with Shad Gaspard. I think we talked about this, right?
Yeah, the passing of the professional wrestler Shad Gaspard, who gave his life to help save his drowning son, and he was pulled away by a riptide, and then they found him 2 days later.
Nature had to take him from us because death itself couldn't win a fight against him.
But the point being is that if there's a charitable cause out there, anything, John Cena will be he'll be the first person to actually want to help because he actually does. He cares.
Because he understands hustle, loyalty, and respect, ironically enough.
Indeed.
Oh, yeah, and by the way,
I'm a disembodied hand.
let's clear one thing up, people. Hustle means that you are taking advantage of a system that is made to take advantage of you to survive in a difficult world. Hustling means that you are making the money despite the fact that the system is trying to stop you from making the money. Committing crimes is not a hustle. Everything that Soulja Boy did with the Soulja Boy console is not a hustle. That is a crime, you stupid fucking dipshits. I apologize for jumping out of it, but I took the time to watch a video when somebody interviewed Soulja Boy about the stupid shit he was doing, and I swear to God, that man mumbles harder than... If you took like a whole orange and shoved it in my mouth, I wouldn't mumble as a Soulja Boy. And the fact that people are actually fucking praising him in the comments and telling him that he's hustling and that they're believers annoys me beyond belief, because that's not what hustling means, you stupid dumb shit. Just because he's the same color skin of you doesn't mean that he's not being a piece of shit.
Indeed.
Why do you think the website for the Soulja Boy console now directs you to Nintendo.com?
Really?
Yes, because guess what? Because when he was contacted by the Nintendo, who basically told him, cut that shit out, boy, or we'll sue your fucking career into the ground, he shut his mouth and very quietly shuffled off into the distance. That motherfucker came in swinging, screaming, yeah, I'm making thousands of dollars with my console. I'm selling all these games. I'm just a black young entrepreneur trying to make it in this world. And Nintendo went, no.
All right. Well, you know
And
what,
he just went down like a nail.
all right. Well, let's not continue talking about that piece.
Right.
I don't want to give him a.
Also, that fucker hasn't touched the world of music in 10 years. He did one good thing and hasn't stopped doing the same thing.
Okay. Cool. Anyway.
Deep shit.
So back to John Cena.
Eminem is a better rapper than you.
Eminem's a better rapper, period.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
yes.
there's no candy company.
Exactly.
So,
Dorks.
guys.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you. Sorry, I don't want us to get lost here. Back to John Cena, but yes, he matched the donation amount for BTS. Which is not surprising because number one, again, going back to my earlier point, he does genuinely care, and number two, he is a bona fide fan of BTS.
That man is going to die a face, let me tell you.
He is babyface. He is.
And you know what?
Hero.
Just like a good hero, he was on scene. No, I'm not making fun of the joke. I mean the fact that they don't brag about it. Nowadays,
He just did it, and that's it. And people found out.
They kind of do brag about it. How many pictures has he been in for like every charity foundation?
yeah, no, but I mean for this one.
Oh.
We only found out because they make the report. But the point is, we live in a world inundated by media. So we know when a celebrity is trying to fish for brownie points. But in this case, they were the good ones. They just went, no big interviews about it. Here's my money, working for the cause. That's it. That's what matters. Action. Because words are just air if they have no power behind them.
They have no meaning behind
Very
the
good
words.
point.
Talk is cheap.
Fuck is cheap.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Which is why I'm talking out of a hand puppet.
Your hand is cheap. Sell that shit in the flea
Yeah, no.
market.
No
That
way.
being said, it's just another proof that there is more than one way to support a movement and to support a cause. Like even if you are not able to go out there and actively protest, there are still different ways that you can show your support.
That's
Exactly.
right.
yeah. Think about John Wick himself.
Keanu Reeves.
Indeed, yes, Keanu Reeves. He I'm not exactly what I can't remember exactly what he did, but he did something. It was really nice. I think he donated a lot of money to. I think it was like some sort of charity.
He does that all the time.
Yeah, he does it all the time. And then he never says a single thing about it, but everyone just like praises him for being so nice. And he's like, guys, please.
To be fair, though, I think that's also a
Guys,
fact
please.
because the man has really his life has been so shitty.
Also, going
Don't
back to
die.
Angel's point, because he's not trying to fish for brownie points. Like he just donates the money, doesn't talk about it, doesn't mention anything because the cause is more important than his fame.
I find it somewhat ironic that he's gone on record saying that, guys, you don't need to make me out to be some sort of Jesus figure. I'm not that nice in real life. Only for anybody to go, yeah, that's great. Except that every time you show up in real life, you're basically Jesus incarnate.
Dang it.
The man has a really bad habit of downplaying his accomplishments, but that's why we like him so much. He's humble. We respect that.
That being said, if you want to show your support for this movement, go ahead and share any news articles that you see out there from credible sources. I wouldn't trust anything from Fox. I mean,
No, actually, no.
There is no joke.
That's not a joke.
There is no meme. Die.
Oh, yeah, Fox. Don't trust Fox. Don't share anything that Fox.
Or OAN, One
Or-
American News. That's the news channel when you think Fox News isn't crazy enough at all.
Jesus.
Like they finally went there. They finally created a news channel that's more ridiculous and more right wing and more psychotically dick sucking the Republican Party than Fox News.
How long has that been around?
It's been around for about a year and a half.
I didn't even know it existed until you
It's
told
okay.
me.
It's brand new.
Let us give it our ignorance, for it doesn't deserve it.
Yeah, I'm not going to bring piece of shits up to give them a spotlight.
No, we just bring a piece of shit to let them know that they're a piece of shit. You hear me? It's a piece of shit channel.
Oh,
Jesus.
yes, it is a piece of shit channel. Share credible news articles regarding the movement. If there is an opportunity, yes, donate whatever money you can.
If it's within your means.
If it's within your means, donate any monetary value. Every cent, every penny counts towards a cause.
And more importantly, don't stop fighting the good fight. It is now too easy to become
Jaded.
driven away by the next wave that comes in, the next disaster, the next crisis, the next scandal. This is something that we cannot just let go of because we have seen it. This has been going on for a long time, and only now has it been blatantly exposed to the light of day. We can't let it skulk back into the shadows so it can show up again later down the line.
Damn right. Enough
No.
is enough.
Enough is enough. And yes, Angel, you bring up a very good point for the second time. We cannot lose this momentum. All lives cannot matter until we make that true for our black brethren.
All lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter.
All
Yeah.
lives can't matter until Black Lives.
90% of lives matter. What about those ones?
Yeah, what about the rest, huh?
Well, like, here's the thing. Like, and real quick, we're not just saying, oh, hey, give money to whoever says that they're part of Black Lives Matter.
How about you give money to us instead?
There are specific charities and there are specific fundraisers that are going on online for people who have been arrested for protesting.
Yep.
Or people who are trying to record police officers, behaving like shit, and they're getting arrested for that. Or there's hospital funds for people who have been abused by the police. There are specific GoFundMe's and there are specific fundraisers. You can find them easily on Twitter, on Facebook. There are folks who are sharing this stuff. So please, do your research. Find the right charities. I can't tell you their names off the top of my head. I remember that there is a list of these charities. What I'm going to do is after we're done with the broadcast, I'm going to go ahead and find that list, and I'm going to put it in our description for the video right down here.
Important piece of information there. Thank you, Wancho.
Yes. Open up the description at the end of this video or rewatch it. I will update this thing so that we can actually show you a list of credible charities and credible organizations where
Just
you
to
can
play
donate
it safe, though, I think we should also share that to all the other all our other
outlets.
Duh.
Mm-hmm.
That is a duh.
And please remember.
It has to be said. Oh, hang on a minute. Do we have a comment already?
We do. Who is this? Keep It Up. So by Noble Society.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know who this is. Noble Society.
Thank you very much. So that being said, and also learn from the recent news. Learn from the celebrities. If you do make a donation, don't make a big deal about it, please.
Your action matters more than your words. Speaking of which, there have been some seriously disgusting pictures of these so-called influencers essentially joining protests for the sake of the aforementioned brownie points. One in particular that it angered me so much I didn't even look at the name of this person because they don't deserve the attention. This thought, because that's the name I gotta find. She went to a location where apparently an incident occurred. I don't know if somebody died or got hurt. And she got her cronies to basically set up lights in the area so she could take the perfect angle photograph to make it look like she was being part of them. Imagine taking the tragedy of an innocent man being killed by the injustices of a flawed and broken police system and using it for clout.
That's just about as stupid as the Bucks County Batman taking a picture of the police officers during the protest.
Remember, people, clout chasing is a disease.
Yeah,
it makes you behave like a stupid person.
Yeah, we mentioned this last week, but you know what? We should repeat our statement because I think this needs to be, the more we address it, the more people will get it. Hopefully. Do not use this to chase clout or to promote yourself. You will out yourself as a literal piece of shit, and you will not be welcomed back in the community because of it, because this is not about you.
No.
The world of social media has made it so somehow, even though our entire information is there, we have lost a lot of personal accountability for ourselves. It's very bizarre, really.
Yeah.
Instead of protecting our anonymity, we just toss that shit out there and hope something happens. But regardless, point in case is, they're saying the kind of stuff you can use to get likes on Twitter. It's not supposed to be. You're supposed to be standing for a cause. Also, please don't forget, anarchy is not supposed to be a permanent state of being. It's supposed to be a means to an end. You use anarchy. You don't rest on it like a bed of laurels, or it will eat you alive.
More to the point, anarchy isn't a fashion statement. I don't care how many Hot Topics you shop at. It's not meant to be a fucking costume for your latest...
Wait, are you telling me that Rage Against the Machine actually has a meaning besides having funky, catchy lyrics? Yes. Bullshit.
Yes.
Nonsense.
Rage Against the Machine was literally founded as a response to police brutality. The fucking band members were specifically citing like the Rodney King riots, and they were specifically citing police brutality and the horrible like consequences of late capitalism. That's why you have the fucking lead singer Zach De La Rocha shouting Communist Manifesto shit every other word he says. He doesn't just say it to be fashionable. He says this shit because he means it. And more to the point, these guys are actually raging against police violence. They rage against the current norms of allowing this apathy to continue.
So they're literally raging against the machine.
Yeah. The man.
Oh, no, dude, you don't have to explain to me. I know full well.
Well, now I understand that a little better. And allow me to add a small addendum to that. For those of you who are doing that incredibly stupid habit of going to protest just so you can kneel in front of the black brothers and sisters and essentially say how sorry you are, cut that shit out. White guilt avails you for nothing. It is a pointless, worthless waste of your time. Take that motivation and use it to stand up with your brothers and sisters and march together with them. Kneeling and apologizing for things that you had no place into will achieve nothing. Even if you are benefiting from the system you're trying to change, you will do better by standing and marching with them than by kneeling. We are not meant to kneel before one another. We are meant to stand together.
Stand
Please
side by
each other
side.
up.
understand that no matter what color you are, all lives will matter when all lives are treated equally. Everybody must be given the same opportunities. Everybody must
I
be
like
taken
that.
into account.
I was looking for that. Yes, all lives will matter when all lives are treated equally.
No matter what.
Including black lives,
Exactly.
for Christ's sake.
No matter what color your
Including
skin,
all lives of
you
everything
deserve
else.
the opportunities the other has, just as you deserve to be taken accountable for your mistakes. If you do the crime, you do the time, no matter what color you are, but you deserve the same legal representations and privileges everybody else gets.
And one of the most important privileges when it comes to a situation like this is not getting killed for no reason.
No way. Are you telling me that kneeling on my neck for several minutes until my lungs collapse is something that is not supposed to happen to me?
I know, it's such a novel idea.
Holy
Not
fucking
killing a
shit.
person. Wow. No, like there's footage of people who were like shop owners and they're people of color, and when the police show up, they beat the shit out of the shop owners.
Yep.
When there was someone else who was trying to loot, who had run away, and the police don't chase after them. Instead, they chase after the shop owners, and they chase after this one rando who stepped out of her car for a minute to see what was going on, and they beat the shit out of her
Yeah.
too.
I swear to
It's
God,
stupid.
these cops are like fucking MMO enemies that just have a code of aggro and they just attack everything inside that looks like a player character.
No,
It's fucking ridiculous.
no, it is ridiculous. But yes, getting back to the earlier point, yes, we've addressed everything. Show your support in any capacity. Do your research. Educate yourself.
And please, for the love of God, don't be a fucking cloud chaser. What's up,
You
Michael?
were saying, bro?
I also want to point out that for those that have this, this one view of the police, and I understand where they're coming from. They think that all cops, every single cop, is corrupt, evil, and they're just a cog in the system of this, of this corrupt thing. And I understand where they're coming from. There are a lot of bad apples out there, but we cannot forget about David Dorn, the 77-year-old retired cop, captain who was shot outside of a store, trying to defend this guy's, store from getting looted. Imagine living for 77 years, being in the police department, one of the most respected police, because he was very kind, he was gentle, he was trying to, do his job properly, not how like that other guy did with George Floyd. Imagine living for 77 years to get shot and bled out in the street.
By another cop?
No, not by some
looter, basically.
Yeah, for over a flat screen TV. That's
what a lives man is worth now?
Yeah.
The TV, I guess. Hey, let's not forget, Bruce Wayne's parents got killed because of one of these riots.
pretty much.
No, that's a different continuity.
That's a different continuity.
Regardless,
But
point in case is, the little bro makes a good point. Difficult as it is to believe nowadays, there are still some boys in blue that are actually believing in the idea of protecting and serving. Let us not forget, we are trying to fight against the idea of classifying everybody into a single category, aka all blacks are X, all whites are X. We're trying to fight against that ideology, and which means we have to apply it to everyone else, including the police. No matter how much you want to defy it or deny it, if you're going to treat a group equally, that equality has to extend to, well, everyone else. That's the meaning of equality, whether you like it or not.
It can, however, be argued, though, that while we could say that there are good cops out there,
There's not enough.
there's
Nowhere
not
near enough.
They wind up being the exception rather than the rule.
That's the
That's why
problem.
the generalization of all cops are bastards is out there. And regrettably, until we either have a massive reform in how police works and how police officers behave, or there is some other result where we have a complete either abolition or dismantling or reconstruction of the institution of policing, that ideology isn't going to go away anytime soon.
You got to replace.
You've got to have police officers who are willing to stand up to their coworkers. Like, no, there's no blue code of honor. No, that's bullshit. You're committing crimes. You're abusing the badge. You're making the rest of us look like shit. I'm holding you accountable. I don't care if you call me a rat or a traitor, whatever. Fuck you. You're being an asshole.
Yeah.
You're besmirching the institution of being protectors and servants as police officers. We're trying to make this into something positive, and you're not doing your part. So fuck you. I'm taking you down.
We're
We
actually
need
getting
more
some.
cops who are willing to do that.
Yep.
Yeah, we cannot.
I'm still a hand puppet.
You're still a hand puppet. But
least
we
he's not a
really do
suck.
need to move on, guys.
I don't. You like being bossing around, moving along.
I'm not being bossing around.
You're totally bossing around.
Are you turning into a cop?
No.
He's turning into a cop. God
Guys,
damn it!
come
He's
on.
putting us behind bars. See that?
We always
walk behind bars.
Oh my god.
See that?
See, that's the problem. We just finished playing the DMC5, and now that I'm officially a gamer, this society has to oppress.
We live in a society.
Oh my god.
that's oppressing us
Forget
behind
all the
bars.
tragedies that happened in the last
Stop
10
it.
days. I'm the real oppressed minority.
No, I'm just trying to make sure that we stay on point, guys.
Right. And the
You know?
point is that John Cena is a pretty cool dude.
Everyone who supports this movement is a pretty cool dude. And they don't have to show it off to prove it. By their actions alone, they've proven themselves.
Right.
Indeed.
Yes.
Also,
And obviously, we the Ravens flock, we always have and always will continue to support this movement.
Of course, man. Remember, we work for the con community, and we don't give a shit about skin color. As long as you have fun, that's all that matters. Even though things are looking extremely unfun right now. Like, okay, we've gone through World War III, virus, racial profiling, hate crimes, protesting. So when do the Titans show up? Because I'm just waiting for that to happen.
waiting for November.
Just Titans.
Just Titans.
No explanation. Just fucking Titans show up and start eating people.
Hey, you know what? As long as we're still doing this, doing what we're doing, the fun ain't gonna go away.
Of course not.
Hope so. I hope not.
I'll die laughing.
There we go.
So Jose wants
So
to go
speaking of-
talk to the next shit.
Yeah, no. But yeah, no. As long as there's always an idea, as long as there's always something that'll engage people, the fun is not going to go away, and that holds true to all the other conventions that are currently facing a cancellation because of this crisis.
Oh, yeah.
Case in point, San Diego Comic-Con.
No, San Diego Comic-Con canceled. Did they?
Yeah. Contrary to popular belief.
San Diego Comic-Con canceled because of the COVID-19 outbreak, but the recent news report has surfaced that they're switching to a virtual con experience, meaning that everything that's going to happen during the con is going to be done on a live stream for everyone to watch.
Yeah,
Please
help
tell
me
me.
out with that. How does that work exactly? Like, do we get to see the shows on the live stream?
Well, according to the article on IGN, Jose is going to read off to us and not let me do anything fun. So go ahead.
No fun allowed.
I'm not allowed to have fun. Go
No.
ahead and do the
No,
reading.
go ahead. You
No.
read first. I already read, so now it's your turn.
Okay, so now you're totally not letting me not have
We
fun.
want you to have fun.
Maybe I want to have fun.
Children, please play nice, or you're
No,
both
we're
going
both
in the corner.
Children, please, you're both pretty.
Hell no, you're the ugliest fucking thing that ever spawned out of my ballsack. Jesus
Joke's on you.
Christ.
I didn't spawn from anyone.
Call my wife. I want a divorce. This was a
Anyway.
mistake.
Although San Diego Comic-Con 2020 was canceled in April due to the coronavirus pandemic, the show will go on virtually thanks to Comic-Con at Home. The free show aims to recreate the atmosphere and excitement of the live fan event, but from the safety of home.
Breathe one.
No. Breathing is for losers.
But how can they recreate all that bodily odor when we're so many miles away from one another?
No, we provide it ourselves.
Of course, just not bathe for a couple of days.
What do you call it? San Diego Comic-Con announced Wednesday that Comic-Con at Home will run online from July 22nd to the 26th, the same dates the convention was originally meant to be held. This is the first time in the con's 50-year history that San Diego Comic-Con was canceled. The live event instead will return to the San Diego Convention Center in 2021. Basically going off of the IGN article written by Jim Vejvoda. Is that how that's pronounced?
All right, so the online...
Vejvoda,
Yeah.
Vejvoda.
Let me see.
Vejvoda?
Let me see that shit.
Jim Vejvoda. I think the J is silent.
It's Vejvoda.
Vejvoda.
Vejvoda?
Vejvoda.
Vejvoda. Okay.
Yeah, it sounds
I
Indian.
promise I'm not trying to be disrespectful. To
It sounds like a
Mexican
foreign
guy.
drink.
I really
Just, brother,
never
give me a shot of
heard your name.
Vejvoda.
So the virtual con is set to take place on July 22nd, and they'll hopefully return to its normal schedule next year. Now, as far as the virtual con experience is concerned, because this is something I'm interested in, because, like, how do you cram all this to a live stream? Like, I know I probably have a few good ideas here. Like, for instance, they have special guests that they were bringing in. Perhaps they'll do like a separate live stream for Q&A for celebrities. And if anybody has questions, they can join the stream themselves.
They have been
I feel
doing
like
that.
This con is just gonna be like one big Zoom meeting. Or anything.
No,
That's
gotta
actually.
get that closer
We
there.
need to be able to hear you, Michael.
Oh.
Or either put the
Put it
Put the mic
properly.
on.
actually
dude.
on. That way we
A
can.
meeting is it's gonna be just a Discord stream.
Actually, yes, it's going to be a giant Discord stream.
Hang on, let me help you with that. It's like it goes
There
like
and
this,
there
like
and
this,
there.
like this,
There you go. That's better.
All right,
like an
now,
operative.
Welcome to Spring PCS. No,
Now,
Jesus Christ!
Now, you were saying, Michael.
Yeah, I feel like this whole con is.
okay.
Mm,
Something's
like-
up with your microphone because the moment you spoke up, the sound just died. Can you repeat what you
Jesus.
said, please?
Okay, you were saying. Do it again.
I feel like this whole con is gonna be one big Zoom meeting.
All right, that's
Is it
better.
working?
Okay.
Yeah, it's better because
Okay,
like,
I've
it
been
was
worried
just
there for a
weird.
second.
It was just weird because I was looking at the bars and on the volume control, and they just sank like a freaking rock.
They picked up on your inherent shyness. Stop that
But,
shit.
Oh,
but
God.
Michael, you're right. It is basically going to be giant Zoom meetings of doom.
Well, I'm pretty
Oh,
no.
sure there's going to be some sort of structure behind this virtual con experience. I don't think they're going to cram everything into one video.
But how are the shows gonna get done?
No shows.
Oh well, then
Maybe.
how am I gonna buy shit then?
Oh, you're not going to buy shit. But they're basically going
This isn't a content. This is just a conference.
I know. Right?
Yes, I know what I said. I know what I
It's
said.
a virtual conference.
Oh please, we do that's just called a business meeting. Don't fucking
Here's
lie
the
to me.
thing. There are already smaller conventions doing this. There was GalaxyCon
Mm.
that did this last month, where they basically had some of their guests that were supposed to be at the convention show up on Zoom meetings where they were interviewed by some other dude, and people in the chat who would have been the attendees
Mhm.
would have just put questions on the chat, and the moderator guy was going to read the questions off to the guest. They did this with Jason David Frank. I went in there and I jumped in for free, and I got to see the Green Ranger.
See, that's the part that worries me. Those two little words, for free. Sorry. Point in case is, okay, these cons need money. You guys remember like a decade ago when we had that problem where a bunch of mini cons literally came and went because they didn't have enough money to fund themselves?
Yes, the
Yeah,
great
we've talked
bubble burst.
If these shows have no money to make, because hey, what are you gonna do? Charge people for your stream? You know they sure as hell ain't gonna pay for that.
Do me a favor, Michael. Let me go ahead and swap microphones with you.
All right.
Like, what's gonna happen with these cons? How can they economically recover from this?
That depends on how long the pandemic is going to last, because they did say that they're going to return to normal. They're hoping to return to normal by next year.
I don't trust hope anymore. Hope is not good enough because we keep thinking the same thing. Maybe next month they'll go away. Maybe next month they'll calm down. Maybe. Until I get the medical experts tell me officially this is done, I'm not going back to the gym. Fuck that. I don't care if it's open again. I'm not getting into a room full of people that are sweating all over the place while the danger is still present.
You see, Jose? Angel's got the right idea.
Just exercise at home, man. Point in cases,
Just do planks.
like
Planks.
I'm genuinely worried because there were a lot of did we notice? You guys help me out on this one because you know better than I do. Were there any smaller cons trying to form or basically establish themselves during this time frame before
there was-
Corona Chan came in and kicked everyone's asses?
That was one of the first things we did. There was like MusiCon, and there was other conventions that we were going to try to go to this year that are smaller.
Florida
no.
Polycon.
Florida Polycon. They were going to
Polycon?
at the Florida
We talked
Polytechnical.
about this.
Is that the one with all the polyamorous people?
No,
No.
Angel.
Is that the one where the orgies happen?
He forgot.
Point in cases, we got a bunch of
Angel,
small
come on,
events.
man.
We got a bunch of small events trying to put an anchor down, but now there is no anchor because the ocean is gone. How, are they going to recover for this? How are they going to jump back from this?
Maybe.
Some might return. Some might not ever come. It's going to depend on their resources. That's why
Yeah, it
we're
depends.
glad that there were cons like MetroCon that decided to cancel. There's Omni Fandom Expo that postponed itself to August here.
For now.
So, no, they were supposed to originally be in March, Angel,
Yep.
when all this shit went down. So postponing all the way to August, like 5 months out. So that was still a much smarter decision. So with any luck, we'll be able to try to go there without anything catching fire.
Luck is no longer something I rely on right now.
MegaCon Orlando even postponed until Halloween weekend.
They
Makes
call it
sense.
a limited edition thing. It's a postponement.
Yeah. It's
Someone tried to
literally
dress it up with pretty
limited
lights.
edition. The we don't want to die package.
Oh man, does that come with the holographic stickers or not?
Yes, one of them is a coffin, the other one is your medical bill.
Yay!
One comes after the other.
I think the whole idea behind this is if they can afford it, if they can afford to take a hit, like San Diego Comic-Con with this virtual con thing, they'll do it.
True.
Because they want if they don't want to lose the attraction, they don't want to lose the fans, the attendees who are wanting to go. Some of them probably have pre-ordered their tickets and they're working on trying to get their money back.
Possibly. The part that worries me is like, yeah, San Diego Comic Con can probably survive this because it's big and it's strong and it's got kind of friction on. But everything else that is like on the smaller size, we want them to live, but the world of business is a cold, cruel, and merciless one. If you don't turn in the profit, it doesn't matter how good your product is, you're gone. So the question is, you know what? If anybody who works on those smaller cons has an idea how the hell you guys are going to survive this, let us know because I'm genuinely curious to see what are your plans to stay in this because to this year, nobody's getting paid. And in the worlds of Morrison, the rent ain't free.
Yep.
From the streets she came, and to the streets she shall return.
Oh God!
God damn it.
And I say unto you, she's from the streets.
All right, enough.
But that being said, the virtual con concept itself, like, how would you you guys have structured this different, like in your own way, like
Porn.
to make it work?
It's just
I would
porn.
make it, no, I would make it work in one simple way. I would start by us just rescheduling to the next year. That's it. I'm not going to run the risk of having my clientele die.
Yep.
I'm not going to run the risk of losing my own life according to this shit. I'm going to just postpone it to the following year. And while it's not conducive to any deposits I might have, like, I lost out on security deposit at my venue or with, like stage production people or whatever. Okay, that's a hit I'm going to take. But at least my people who come to my con don't die.
Don't forget, all it takes is one death to ruin the reputation of the entire establishment.
Like the good thing about Omni, like I mentioned earlier, is that they postponed as far in advance as they feasibly could within reason. We can reasonably assume that sometime in August we'll start seeing some measure of improvement. Whether or not it's like, the governor is letting people go with events again or not, that's not even it. I'm putting out on the belief that we'll see some marked improvement by the end of this summer.
But so the virtual con concept itself is unnecessary, is what you're saying.
Michael, take your other seat. That way I can slide the camera this way.
Yeah. So the whole virtual con idea, basically what you're saying is unnecessary. It's not needed.
No, I don't think it's unnecessary. I think that it's a good substitute for like contractual obligations and stuff that you might have with your talent, but it makes a poor substitute for the collective event of being in a large group of people and getting to enjoy the same shit together and meeting people like that. It's very static. It's very sanitized. I don't think it's a good substitute for it. It's a good idea for keeping your fan base engaged and involved with each other, but it pales in comparison to the real deal.
So, are you saying? I guess I understand where you're coming from, but I mean, so what does this mean then? So they still continue on with the?
That's their plan. They're gonna continue with the virtual con experience.
That's fine.
That's fine. That's okay. I mean, Juan's argument, like Juan does make a good argument. On the other hand, San Diego Comic-Con, like they thought outside the box.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Everyone else is doing it.
Okay.
They just had the nerve to go ahead and try to do it themselves to keep public interest in the brand of their convention.
Because everyone else is doing it.
Because everyone else is freaking doing it already. The Galaxy Con that I told you about, they did it. They did it better because they got the Green Ranger. I'm sorry, but the moment you get the Green Ranger in,
okay,
you
they
win by
got the Green
default.
Ranger. What guests do San Diego Comic-Con have that they can introduce to those virtual?
All right.
That's just it. We don't know.
Sorry that took so long.
Hang on. I can look it up right now, guys.
Switch
For the
places.
record today, you've got to look up the guests that are going to be
Thanks, bro.
on their live stream event show, not the guests that were supposed to be in the convention.
Yeah, those guys. You might as well forget those positions are made there because
Exactly.
nobody can sit in those seats. There's too much Ranger of the booty virus.
Exactly. The beer bug.
Corona chat, as the amount of Rule 34 or fan art of Corona chat increases, the more powerful she becomes. The boys are dropping on the streets and they still want to fuck her.
Dude, come on.
I mean, she looks kind of nice in that quick pal, but I'm just saying, like,
It's not real.
you know how they say don't stick your dick in crazy? Don't stick your dick in the bio either. Which I guess what I'm trying to say is never try to pursue a relationship with a YouTuber influencer. They will basically use you for clicks and throw you away when it's convenient.
Joke's on you. I am a YouTube influencer.
Yeah,
At
but
least I
you're-
should be.
but you are married.
Guys, I'm not seeing a list of any guests.
But you're married. You're already like, already, dude. You're a dad. Like
No,
you have bypassed all of
for
this.
the record, I'm not a dad.
What?
I'm daddy.
Listen, man. Whatever she goes to the bathroom, that is none of my business.
Oh no!
I do not need to know any of
proclaiming
this.
I am proclaiming myself as daddy from now on.
Just blank the flag like this is my territory.
Indeed.
All right.
I
since
claim
can't-
this land.
Since I can't find any information of what guests they're going to feature in the virtual con, let me pull up the guests that were supposed to be at the live event.
Don't bother.
That won't
Don't
do
bother.
because we don't know how many of them are going to be in the virtual con.
Don't because
Yeah, it's just speculation.
At this point, yeah, it would just be heresy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Speaking of no heresy, we would like to send our salutations to Mr. Norman Reedus for standing up for the right cause and fighting out there for the good rights.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Now we need a Sean Patrick Flannery to join him, and we've got the Boondock Saints
Oh.
back together. Then we have
Do
some
we
real
want-
justice.
Oh, okay. If those two walk out of a crowd and just pull out guns,
Jesus.
and Hideo Kojima walks behind him, also pulling out guns,
And Willem Dafoe and David De La Rocco
And
comes
then-
back from the dead.
and then it turns out that it was all an elaborate advertisement for Death Stranding 2,
Jesus. That'd be
featuring
terrible.
Dante for the Devil May Cry.
God
series.
damn it! You can't
Angel,
resist
cut it
it,
out.
can't you?
I can't help it. It's like it's its own thing right now.
Dude, come on.
It's like Corona. It gets everywhere.
Let the
Okay.
meme die.
Well, yeah, no. That
Kill
being
it
said,
if you have to.
I think we can all agree the whole virtual con thing, it's not original. Other cons are doing it, and it is a substitution, not a very good substitution.
It's the only thing they can work with right now, basically.
Let me put it this way. I went grocery shopping today, and I found in the dairy aisle something over here saying this product that's called like Maximum Ultra Cheese mozzarella flavor.
Fuck.
And then I look at the packaging; it's like plant-based cheese, so it's tofu, but it's cheese flavored tofu. So I'm thinking to myself, nah.
Accept no substitutes.
Nah, fam. No, sorry. I understand that there are people who either through diet or through their own ideology don't wish to consume animal byproduct or whatever. But cheese is cheese.
It's cheese.
Don't try to sell me tofu and say that it's cheese.
Tofu.
It's tofu.
No, tofu is not cheese.
Tofu is like a
Tofu is-
fucking seed from soybeans or some shit.
No, tofu is goop from boiled soybeans.
Exactly.
Now, it's tasty. If you prepare it in specific manners, it can be a very delectable substitute. It's obviously very nutritious.
Hang on a minute. Let me
You're ready
But
to
it's
lose all your
not
testosterone.
cheese.
rewind it back. Where did you hear this bullshit of tofu being cheese?
No, I'm saying that I was at the grocery store. Like, you need to use these. You need to listen when I talk here, man.
Which
See,
store?
this cable's in the way.
Okay. So you
Point-
went to the grocery.
I went to the grocery store today. I was doing groceries, and in the dairy section, we have this plant-based cheese thing. I'm like, but that's not cheese.
It's liar food.
It's
Why
there.
do you put these lies in front of me?
This plant-based cheese stuff is the virtual San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh,
The cheese
wow.
is
Damn.
actual San Diego Comic-Con. Don't try to sell me fake cheese as cheese. Just go up front and tell me, hey, we've made this plant-based food. It's cheese flavored so that you can have the satisfaction of eating cheese without actually eating cheese. But don't try to sell me and say, hey, here's cheese.
I got a question, though.
What?
I understand vegetarians.
Yep.
And I understand vegans to an extent.
Yep.
I don't understand why they don't like dairy products. Isn't cheese like one of the few things you can get out of a cow that doesn't hurt it? Or is that just like a personal preference on their side?
It's an ideological and personal preference, specifically
Ah.
with vegans. Vegetarians might consume cheese or might not, depending on the person. But vegans specifically don't take any animal byproduct, meaning no veal, no baby meat, no cheese, nothing like that.
How do they get the nutrients and the
Plant.
Okay, but plant cannot compose
Plant.
literally every single part of your food pyramid.
Plant-based cheese. That's why they do
How the
it.
fuck do you get protein from plants?
Plant.
They just eat nuts,
soy
I guess.
Soy is actually very rich in protein. And tofu is rich in protein.
Yes.
Soy.
Soy.
Of course.
That means-
Okay,
yeah.
fair enough.
They get what they need, and they have the
Democracy was a mistake. We should have killed them all when we had the chance to.
God damn it, Angel.
All right. So
Stop
English
that.
stupidity notwithstanding-
Let's go back to monarchy.
No.
Apparently, we can't govern
All right,
ourselves worth
so
a damn.
Getting back on the subject here, you do make a good point.
Of course I do.
No, let me finish. rather than giving them something, rather than putting together something, and you'll pardon me for using the phrase,
Thanks.
half-assed. It's best to just
Quadruple ass.
quadruple ass. Best to just either cancel it, hold it off until next year, or however long it takes, so that you can actually give the people exactly what you promised, give them what they want, instead of giving them something that's only,
That's liar.
Substitute cheese.
Not even
Well,
good substitute.
But if I want something really awesome, and if it means I have to wait longer, I will wait.
Fair enough.
Not everyone's willing to wait. Specifically, the vendor, the creator of the program, of the convention. They want it now. They want you to remember, hey, I exist. Hey, I exist. Hey, I exist. Hey, buy my shit.
Don't ask
Be invested
questions.
in my
Just
brand.
consume product and get excited for next product. Buy. It's like putting on the glasses in that movie and you just see fucking consume.
Well, I'm glad there are con organizers out there that actually do give it.
Thank
True.
you for that. Yes.
Regardless of the matter, at the end of the day, they're just trying to ensure that their businesses survive because, like we said, remember that, but it's like it's a high risk, high reward. Catch-22. Either you make the con stay on the public mind and you're basically sacrificing your profits, or you run the risk of running the con and the double danger of nobody showing up and the people that show up getting sick. Like when you find yourself in the toes of the people running the con, there is no winning here. All you can do is pick the least harmful option that will still keep your businesses in people's minds. And if it means doing substitute cheese, that probably doesn't even taste like cheese. That's what they're gonna do. Like that's literally all they can do because, like I said before, if somebody gets sick in the events, if somebody dies in the event, you're fucking done, buddy. That's it.
Angel does make a good
Death is
counter-argument
permanent.
because
Like
there are attendees, there are fans, there are nerds who don't give a shit about the pandemic that want their shit, that want to.
Death is easy, life is hard. You know why? Because you can hate somebody enough to kill them, but you can never love somebody enough to bring them back. If they go, and suddenly a huge stink of bad PR befalls the con. And remember, Lord boys and girls, we are no longer in the times where all reputation is good reputation. Bad reputation will fuck you up because the internet will never let you forgive and they will never let you forget. Mainly because they're a bunch of fucking hypocrites and the crimes that they accuse you of can be tarred with the same brush as them. But the purity spiral is a long way down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
Fucking vegans, I swear to God.
Vegans have got nothing to do with this. Can you
They are guilty of everything, and I will take that case. I will die on that hill, surrounded by their fucking vegan-smelling corpses.
Man, don't discriminate against vegans.
Oh, I'm not discriminating. My hatred is not based on race or ethnicity or philosophy. I just really don't like them. Arrogant, self-righteous, over-uppity little bitches that think that they are better than me.
So by the concept of their character,
I will beat them to death with a stake if I have to.
But what about the vegans
Beat them with
that
your
are
meat.
not being
No such thing as a good cop, Joe.
Oh, okay.
Oh, don't
We
Yes.
just said that there is such a thing as
Not anymore. I changed my mind. We're gonna kill them all. In this time, right now, regardless of skin color, we must come together and fight the real enemy.
I will cut you off. I
Vegans.
don't care. God damn it, man. No, for fucking sake.
I call upon every black brother and sister that has never known me,
Oh, God.
in honor of all the barbecues that were ever made.
Stop. No,
In honor of every barbecue that was ever made.
I'm muting the mic.
Go ahead.
I will mute
Go
the mic.
ahead. You just proved that you're afraid of what he has to say.
No, I'm afraid of what you gotta say. I'm saying you're saying stupid shit.
Go ahead.
Live, goddammit.
By all means, go ahead.
We're not out to kill vegans.
Because
Only
now
this
they will-
guy's insane.
Now they will question what I'm saying right now.
No, they won't.
Well, look at it this way. If they're already angry vegans, they'll come after him.
Go ahead, bring it on.
I already switched the mic back on. Anyone wants to kill this guy, don't.
If you mute me, you only fear the words that I have to say.
I am a child.
Punish me because I say it. Oh, please, you're 17. You still have enough on you to be responsible.
No, because look, I'm a child. I'm influenced by adults around me. And I say, kill vegans.
Yes! Oh my, yes!
No, Ben.
Remember the words of Aaron Yeager. There can't be racism if there's only one race.
God damn it. Stop it, for real. You know what? This thing needs charging.
If you're tuning in right now, I hope you're really enjoying yourself because this is pretty much exactly how any of this
This
shit
is how our shit devolves. Angel just goes straight to, we need to kill the vegans for some fucking reason.
All right.
You know
God
my
damn it.
reasons.
All right.
Well, remember the food that you made for me that one time, that amazing, delicious
Chief
chicken
stew
plate?
of dew?
Yes.
Yes.
I was talking about the chicken.
Oh, yes, the chicken.
Yeah, that amazing recipe that was very simple, very nice, very tasty. Can you imagine that there's people in the world that will look upon the hard work you have done for your delicious cooking and thumb their nose up at you because they think they're superior to you just because they're stuffing grass into their mouths, even though you can make way better grass than them?
I don't care. You know why? It's their loss. They want to be presumptuous about the way I cook and what I cook. Let them. If they want something specifically made to their needs, they can provide the ingredients, and I will whip the shit out of that food, and I'll make them eat it, and they'll be thankful for the way I make their shit. I'm not going to need to participate in it, and that's perfectly fine. But if you ask me to cook you something, I'm going to cook the fuck out of you, and I'm going to make you some perfectly good, delicious food. Exactly. Whether it's meat-based or plant-based. You want me to give you arugula? I will give you some fucking beautiful tasting arugula. Okay. I don't even know what the fuck arugula is.
How the hell did we segue from virtual content?
Well, Juan just confessed to cannibalism, so we're going on the right route. I used
a metaphor, and Angel took it to the worst.
You are so goddamn literally.
I am not literal. I simply understand the world in a different way that you do. You ever seen llamas with hats?
Yes.
Kind of like that.
It sucks.
I blame society.
Goddamn.
So anyway, going back to the point of the fact that Juan makes an amazing good chicken recipe, and you guys should try it out. It's actually pretty good. Like, I don't know how this guy does it. He's got this whole very simplistic, just give me a few ingredients and some time. I'm actually learning to cook based on the example of the recipes that he gives me.
I just shit it out.
All right.
That's how it works good, man.
All right, guys. So food talk aside, for back to the subject. As we've discussed, if you're really looking forward to a con, and if you're willing to wait, if you have the patience to wait, because we are willing to wait till next year to go back to MetroCon. Okay, let's not kid ourselves. We wanted to go, but we couldn't go because of the pandemic.
Hey, man.
And hey, we're willing to wait, and all the props to the organizers of MetroCon for doing the right thing for the attendees.
Shit happens. You gotta roll with the punches. And in this case, when we say shit happens, I mean people are shitting themselves to death. So, dude, gotta be extra careful.
The virtual con thing, it's
a thing.
It's a thing. If you want to go to it, go right ahead. It's not gonna have the same experience as going into an actual con for the weekend.
The good news is you lose no money.
Yes.
You get to spend time with watching your favorite convention guests and all, and you don't have to pay. That's perfectly fine. On the other hand, if you need the feeling of interacting with your friends and your colleagues, you could do your own Zoom meeting or your own Facebook Messenger video chats with your friends. You can do that on your own, and that's fine. You can do that. The fact that we're resorting to this stuff is a testament to the advancement in our technology and how easy it is for us, but we mustn't forget that it's not going to be a full-on replacement to actual conventions.
Nothing can be. That's like saying messaging is a replacement to having a conversation with a person. There are things that you cannot convey through text. Exactly. It's a substitute, but ultimately it's only a substitute. I mean, hey, I hope it goes well. I hope this whole thing manages to hang in there so they can actually do it properly once this whole Mexican beer business passes away.
The beer bug.
When it's done, and I hope that they'll hang in there long enough. I mean, I got faith. They're at the San Diego Comic Con. They're big. They can handle this. They can survive 1 year without getting paid. Absolutely. Or they might never financially recover from this. But we'll see what happens. All we can do is wish them the best of luck and hope that I hope it all goes well. Like really, we cannot predict how well this is gonna go. Nope. For once, all we can do is be optimistic and hope it doesn't go too badly. Like
we can only be optimistic, and we could hold on to every small victory that we as a society can get.
Contrary to popular belief, we don't want the things we love to fail. Okay. When we criticize a movie or a video game that's coming out because we don't like what they're doing with the story or the characters or the gameplay, we don't want it to fail. We want it to be good. Nobody goes into something. Okay, let's get one thing straight here. I didn't like the new Star Wars movie, but I didn't go into the theater hoping that it would suck, okay? I didn't go there, sit down and man, I hope this turns into complete shit. That's not how it works. We want the things we love to succeed. We want the con to succeed as well. We are somewhat worried of the circumstances because shit's been going pretty badly right now. But believe it or not, despite how cynical us, and by us I mean me, because I'm the only realist in this fucking room. Shh! I'm not done being an asshole. Give me a moment.
God damn it.
Despite how cynical we may seem sometimes, I promise you, we really sincerely want you to succeed because we like cons and we want cons to keep going. We want people to enjoy this beautiful, insane, socially awkwardly fucked up world that we love so much. So by all means, keep on fighting the good fight and let's hope next year is a little better. Or at least let's hope next year whatever crisis falls down doesn't screw up our schedule so badly.
Speaking of video games, however, hang on. Let me press the start button because I know Angel is about ready to start.
Oh yeah, I rolled my touchpad.
Boom! Start button.
Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. The time has come, and so have I. The devil triggers are about to get pulled because just about a day ago, Sony decided that it was time to get their shit together. Their last presentation wasn't that good. It was just a bunch of technical specs, numbers. No one cares about that. It was shit done specifically for the, it was done for the investors, the people have spent money. The PS5 has been revealed and is beautiful. Not telling you the price yet. Glory. But as we see, we were expecting when I was watching that live streaming it with little bro. When we saw the conference, we were expecting nothing except a bunch of people talking to us and telling us a bunch of crap about the game. Sorry, they didn't do that. They just released trailer after trailer after trailer after trailer for like a solid hour and a half of nothing but trailers. Some of them had us hype, some of them not so much. But the point is, it looks like on top of being backwards compatible with PS4, thank you for that, the PS5 might have a relatively robust library going on in there. We got some news about the list of what's going on here and all the PS5 game announcements.
Let's tackle the PlayStation 5 one bit at a time. First of all, I want to talk about the console itself. The way it looks, it still bothers me because the PlayStation consoles and in different generations, they've always been known to look simple yet still, functional, and you're able to have fun with it.
They were going for a very artsy look on this one. Like there's a lot of, I'm not gonna say unnecessary. There's a lot of parts in that console that look like they're there to be aesthetically pleasing, like a fountain.
Yeah, but there's arts and there's simplicity.
Yeah, I honestly would have preferred they just kept it like nice. Like my PlayStation 4 is right there. It's just a nice rhombus cube. It's a beautiful thing with sharp edges.
Yeah,
it's a pointy, beautiful monstrosity. It's also very light. And for what we saw in the graphic, the PS5 seems to be bigger than every other PlayStation console so far.
Yeah, because if you take a look at PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, isn't there like a certain pattern?
Yeah, it's just a very simple, slick design. It's basically just take a rectangle and see what you can do with it.
Yeah.
We had a gray rectangle with soft edges. We had a black rectangle with sharp edges. We had a oval rectangle with slick edges, and now we have
Spider-Man lettering.
Yeah, and now we have another rectangle with slanted edges. It's always been rectangles with these guys because stick to what it works, right? Now it looks like a router.
It
looks like a very fancy router, and I gotta be honest with you, that presentation, I swear to God, they wanted you to stick your dick in that console. They had the sexy music and the nanomachine technology just building the thing for you.
They put up baby making music here.
Exactly. Yeah, you want to spend your money on this. You want to rub your tits all over this piece of plastic.
Dude.
Hey, man, girls play games too. I'm just saying.
Most, PlayStation users put their console, facing down.
Yeah, this one looks like it needs to be stood up.
Yeah,
Like, can you?
Let me see something here.
And most likely there will be a way to put it. Like maybe it has like a different stand to put it on the side. We saw that there's two versions, like a physical one and a digital one that has no disc slot. I'm guessing that one comes with bigger memory capacity, so you can just download and keep your games in the hard drive.
This is the PlayStation 5.
There she is. Also,
apparently there will be an all-black version, and they have this pretty new Tron Legacy looking.
I love how
version.
collectively the internet immediately decided it was a female console.
Yes.
Like every other PlayStation has been depicted as male. This is the first one that we go, no, this is a sexy wife one. We want that.
Yeah, and the PlayStation 5 is available in different color schemes. There's one that's black and blue, and there's another one that's a Spider-Man theme.
I kind of want the Spider-Man one.
Of course you do.
It looks cool, man. But so yeah, most likely it looks like this console, based on presentation, is meant to be stood up, which is going to be kind of a pain in the ass. But as long as there's a way we can put it on the side, we should be fine. But yeah, no, that presentation was like a fucking. You know those food commercials where they basically where they have hot women just eating these perfectly crafted burgers that were fucking made by SpongeBob or some shit like that. Look at that shit.
Is that the official photo?
Is that the Balrog console?
No, that's
Hold it like that.
Balrog doesn't have a spider on it.
That thing better shoot actual lightning when I play it. I'm just saying.
Behold, the Spider-Man PlayStation 5.
It looks kind of fire. I'm not gonna lie. It's the Miles Morales edition.
Hells yes.
Right. So let's get to work to what they actually announced.
The games that were announced.
So to begin with, they announced that they're going to re-release GTA 5, which I'm like, okay, sure, fine, whatever. It's GTA 5.
Grand Theft Auto.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying like Come on, man.
Here's the thing: Rockstar said at some point that they could have actually made a GTA game once every year if they wanted to, but they were working on other projects. But I can respect that. But guys, come on, it's been like 8-7 years. Like,
Exactly.
No.
Move on. But it prints money, they said.
And besides, who doesn't enjoy a video game where you get to steal someone's car and do it and do a whole bunch of crazy shit?
Exactly. Now, hooking on to what Joe's just showed, we got a trailer right there. Actually, you know what? Play the trailer. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah,
All right, give me a second over here. I'm gonna need to do a thing.
So yeah, we had a trailer from Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
This time playing as Spider-Man Miles Morales because we were superheroes and she.
You know, and I'm also going ahead and playing this. YouTube, please do not try to ding this video. This is embedded on news.sky.com, and this is an embedded YouTube video itself. We do not own this video.
At all.
Cut your crap, please.
what was that? 1 second of audio.
Oh shit, demonetized. But we don't even make
We're not
money.
monetized.
We're charging you for it now. Wait, what?
God, there.
Full screen this bitch.
Yep.
Come on, why not?
Because they need to see us too.
Oh please, we're not near.
More important.
We are nowhere near as pretty as this trailer. Just there we go. Oh
I'm
man.
just double check to see if we'll even hear it. Ooh, do we even hear anything? No.
Yuri Lowenthal should be speaking right about now.
All right, give me a second.
Could it be all the USB drives fucking it up? But anyway, it's fine. People already seen it. Just show the
I
image.
know what it is.
The point is,
There we go. Your dad said you had to avenge the Uchiha.
Here, let me just rewind that.
Dunk.
Um,
That's a new logo apparently. PlayStation Studios.
and Insomniac Games presents
Insomnia Games.
in association with Marvel Entertainment presents.
Naughty Dog present. Ah shit.
Heroes just someone who doesn't give up. Dad said that. He was right. Now it's your turn. You'll be a hero, Miles. Okay, let's do this.
Ah shit. Ah yeah. Fur collar, rocking that drip, son.
Whip it, baby. Yes.
We got neon bad dudes, and we got the invisibility power up. Very nice. And the electric touch. Ah, yeah! Human!
Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
Minority man.
Motherfucker.
Be yourself.
Holiday 2020.
So yeah, coming in way earlier than we expected, and more importantly, though, there has been quite a bit of confusion because they cannot seem to decide. They cannot seem to decide. Like, do we
We're
want
gonna
it?
play all together.
Is this going to be a standalone, or is this going to be its own game? Is this going to be an expansion? Like, I swear to God, they cannot, for the life of me, like come with a concrete like decision of what they're going to do with the game. We, of course, are looking forward to it, and
It appears to be either an alternate story or like a distant sequel kind of thing.
I hope it's just his own game because I would like Mr. Morales to shine. Because I gotta be honest with you guys, Miles has been getting the shaft in this one. He's been in comics for like more than 10 years now, but people don't really seem to care that much about the poor guy. Mainly because every time he shows up, he's always playing second fiddle to everyone else.
Peter Parker.
In fact, even in the movie Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which is, his time to shine,
his origin.
let's be honest, most people care about the other Spider-Man more than they care about him.
Actually,
Not that they wrote him wrong, but if you look up on the internet, you're going to get to see a lot more fan art of Noir than you're going to see of Smiles.
Well, it's hard to turn away from a Spider-Man that punches
Fair enough.
Like,
He
to be
enjoys-
perfectly fair. Like the story does give the whole bit of this being the origin of
Yes,
this
his
version of
origin.
Miles Morales.
The problem is, he has to share his origin with a bunch of other already well-established characters. Kind of fucks with the poor kid.
Yeah, it
like-
does, but it also shows that he rises above that and stands on
Yeah.
his own 2 feet, and he whips shit out of Kingpin
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
He's like,
And how?
hey, and Kingpin jumped away, scared of a sexual harassment accusation by a small black boy.
Oh.
Yeah, you notice that?
Oh.
He touched him and Kingpin went like, nope.
Oh, what the heck?
Actually, no, he got shocked in the face from that one.
Yeah,
he
no.
didn't jump away. He got hit with it.
He touched Kingpin and goes, check your privilege.
Oh,
Right, so overall, it looks basically, more of the same, which is always cool. That PS4 game was fantastic. I hope they do more. Add a few mechanics, innovate that shit. That's going to be great.
Another game that was released is
Announced
is Final Fantasy VIII.
I'm sorry,
But
what?
not Final Fantasy.
You-
Resident Evil.
Okay, you mean
Yes.
you mean Village Resident Evil.
It's 8. It's Resident Evil 8.
So it looks like we're sticking to the first-person view from what we saw, and Mr. Chris Redfield himself appears now, looking more beef and just shooting women randomly in the face. I get.
More beef than he was.
Yes, that dude can barely fit into his coat. It's fucking ridiculous. He's made of muscles. And yeah, apparently he just finds the person's wife and just bang, 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 pull my devil trigger all over her face. It was terrifying.
Resident Evil 8 Village.
Also, it looks like a nice change from Resident Evil 7, which took place in the bayou and the swamps. This one takes place in the upper mountains, where it's nice and chilly, which makes me wonder just what the fuck is going on there. Like, what is
Zombies.
No, that didn't look like
Zombies.
zombie. The one zombie we saw there looked like a werewolf.
Zombies.
That dude looked like a werewolf.
Bioweapons.
Exactly, but how?
Zombies.
Oh no, it's always Umbrella. But the question is,
Wesker.
how? Okay,
Wes.
allow me to explain.
Albert.
Wesker's been dead for a while.
Dante.
I wish. No. Point in case is, in Resident Evil 7, fun fact, the events of Resident Evil 7 were a complete accident. The ship carrying the toxic material basically had a cap spill, and it caused the entire shenanigans when the subject escaped. So the question is, how and why do we have zombie juice or gas or pellets or crystals or whatever the fuck they're using? How did the Chaos Emeralds go to the top of Mount Everest?
Okay.
How did the Dragon Balls go
when
to the
Wesker
South
joined
Pole?
up at the end of Dragon Ball Super,
When's Broly?
he teamed up
With Frieza.
in order to take the Kyber crystals over to Zanzibar land,
Oh,
where
Jesus.
he joined up.
Oh my god.
Meanwhile, in Wakanda, Broly was training to control
Okay,
his inner
I'm just
evil.
giving you the best, worst plot that we could get from any anime convention combat shows that we had. It's always a mishmash where you have Wesker in it.
What?
The end.
He's so easy to put on everything.
Here, you want me to
Okay,
give you
I'm
a
bad.
I can give you a spoiler, and Juan's gonna hate me for saying this. Spoiler alert. They fight.
No.
No, really. I wonder who.
In other news, in Dragon Ball, Toriyama keeps adding hair colors to Goku.
So what other games were announced?
Okay, so on a slightly less exciting news, we got Gran Turismo 7. I hope you like fast cars. Honestly, it didn't look that better from Gran Turismo 6, but maybe that's me because I don't follow the franchise very often. Sorry about that. We have Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
You cannot downplay Ratchet.
Hell no! I was so excited when I saw him, I nearly fucking busted it all right there and then.
Yeah.
In fact, play that trailer. That shit looks amazing.
Okay, he wants to play this trailer here.
Please play the trailer.
It's worth it.
All right, give me a second. Then.
Do the thing. The movie was okay, but it
There we
was
go.
only okay.
Let's
We
try
needed
this shit.
more.
We
Also-
don't own this video, YouTube, so shut your face.
There you go.
This
No,
was
they don't.
this is
They don't.
this is solely
Fill
for
in later
entertainment
on how they
purposes.
don't know.
Our lawyers told you to tell you we don't own any of what you're seeing right here.
Aw, that's cute.
That's some Pixar shit. Look at this Pixar movie. Move that mouse. It's fucking driving me nuts.
Too bad.
Please move the mouse.
There.
Thank you. This is Pixar quality. You can see every hair on his face.
So they're in Final Fantasy. So they're in Monster Hunter World. Cool.
Holy shit. These are bad guys from like the first PS3 game, Tools of Destruction. The Tachyon forces, I think. They're little goldfish
Right.
inside tanks.
What the fuck?
Notice how they're fucking like this is a tech demo. They're trying to show you how they don't need loading to do this.
Nice.
See, no loading. No loading, just go.
Bro.
Nice.
This looks so good, dude.
Yes,
Okay,
it
I got one
does.
question though.
Hang on,
He's-
hang on. Hold your questions after
Shut.
this video.
God damn it.
Holy crap.
They are very clearly showing off the new hardware. They're like, hey, check out how quickly we can transition this shit.
Holy
Nice. So now they're in Blade Runner.
ha!
It's clearly the fifth element. Get it right, you uncultured swine.
Okay, so they're in I don't know, Pirates of the Caribbean.
You were ahead of me by 5 seconds on that, but yes.
I'm always ahead.
Oh no!
Oh no. Zutalor, what the hell is happening here?
Sacre bleu! This is what I'm looking for when I get that console.
Looking forward to a poor little robot being abused?
Yes. Also, Dr. Nefarious Once again, probably boys. But
Here is my DVR OC.
oh no, Rule 34.
Oh shit!
Rule 34. Stop. Okay, now go. So there we have it. We got some. They showed a little bit more gameplay in the trailer later. They apparently have a new mechanic where Ratchet can basically do like a little light hook to hang on to like a dimensional rift and teleport himself through the level. It looks pretty nice, and I could have sworn I saw that like the screen chugging the frames, and I'm like, I'm gonna need a new TV to deal with this shit.
All right. What I was going to ask was the question I've got is the reason is the playback technology and the loading technology on the PlayStation 5 that much more advanced, or do we have to still, like with PS4 games and PS3 games, install shit from the disc in order to play?
That's a good question.
In order to make it load that fast.
I don't think they haven't explained that one yet.
Like,
I think they most likely will try to avoid that in the future, because the last thing you want to do is keep your customers waiting when you give them your product. You know, it's like unwrap a package so you can unwrap a package to unwrap. It's a matryoshka doll of bullshit. So most likely they're working on avoiding that. I heard lots of talking about higher memory space and processing speed. So most likely they'll have a way to alleviate or hopefully completely eliminate that process to begin with. Because what they were showing there was just a way of saying loading screen. What loading screen?
Now, I know for a fact that they're going with two different versions of the console. One version is the console with a disc reader system,
Yep,
and the other without. So
the digital PS5.
Yeah, go ahead and look that up. I actually want to see this.
all right, you guys keep talking while I look.
Right, so
what are the games?
Square Enix showed up a little bit of what appears to be an open-world third-person adventure game called Project Athia. We see a girl who apparently was the sign of a sketch of a character that never showed up in 15, and we don't see much of the gameplay, just this fantastic open world. She seems to have the ability to control plants, and there's a dragon made of mist with a gaping chest cavity dripping lava. It looked kind of cool, but they didn't reveal much about that. They also revealed what appears to be an adventure mystery game called Stray, where in a world where humans died off, and you play as a cat with a little backpack, running and exploring a world full of robots.
That is interesting.
Aside from that, we also got a third-person shooter called Returnal, where an astronaut woman finds herself stuck in a time loop, and she needs to survive what appears to be a hostile alien planet. Looked mildly interesting. Also, you guys remember Sackboy?
No.
The mascot that could be from Little Big Planet?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What about it?
He's getting his own game called Sackboy: The Big Adventure. It's Mario. It's a Mario game. So
It's a Mario song.
basically, he was the mascot that never got done anything.
Here's what's up. What do you call it? Here's the PS5.
Uh-huh.
On the left is the digital only version, and on the right you'll see this tiny little slit there where you can insert your data.
Yeah, she looks like a slut, all right.
God damn it.
Dang it, Angel!
Look at that console. She's asking for it.
Angel, please. Fuck, man. Stop it with this shit.
Hey, man.
No, for real.
Don't
Stop.
look at me. Look at the last segment of the presentation and tell me they didn't want you to do Rule 34 with that thing.
Well, they didn't ask me to do Rule 34, but you know what wound up happening? Rule 34 wound up fucking
It's like a
happening.
law of nature
Yeah,
now.
You should know. You shared a picture once.
I shared it to you so you could suffer with me.
Whatever.
No,
Anyway, so-
implying I was suffering. Let's see. Aside from that, we got
Jackasses.
Destruction All-Star, which appears to be a demolition derby game, an arena where you control your vehicle to destroy the other vehicles. Seem to have an interesting twist in that the drivers seem to be able to get out of the vehicle and fight on foot. We'll see what they do with that.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned Rule 34 because we had it already.
So it begins.
That girl in the freaking Ratchet and Clank games, yes, you see it right there. This other character
Yep.
with the robot hammer, there's Rule 34 of them.
Of
already.
course, why am I even asking this question?
Of course, we got the waifu PS5 controller Chan.
PS5 Senpai.
Of course.
Of
and,
course there is.
uh,
I'm done. You're all horrible people. How dare you?
All right.
He
I
says
tried,
while covering
I
the
tried.
bulge in his pants.
I got no fucking bulge in my
There's
pants.
a reason he's off camera right now, people.
No, the reason I'm off camera is because I needed to try to fit 4 people. Yep, there we go. Sorry
Okay.
about that.
Sorry about that.
Conversation.
Juan's boner turned off the microphone
No,
for a
I don't have
second.
a-
No.
I'm not running a fucking boner. You guys are assholes. How dare you? I'm tired of your assholes.
The city will rue the day they
There's
made
limit
fun
to
of
assholes
Joker's
that I'm gonna
boner.
accept, and this is the limit. I'm reached it. I'm done.
No, you are not.
Touch me.
You know we
Oh,
love
sick
you.
in the brain. God,
So he says.
So what are
God
the-
fucking.
See, let's see. He can accuse us of all he wants to, but don't forget, he's your brother, and he's still my friend.
Shut up.
Right. Aside from that, we got this pixel-looking adventure game called Kena, Bridge of Spirits. You control a young girl from a tribe with a magical staff that can turn into a bow and other sorts of weapons. And there's a bit of Pikmin there. You control a bunch of adorable little furry black minion things that we'll see them help you in combat, and we see them help you in puzzles. Not sure exactly what the game is about. Something about rescuing the spirits. There was a dragon. There's always a dragon.
That's what, of course.
We have Tumblr, the game.
What?
Goodbye Volcano High. It seems to be a visual novel style game about a bunch of furries.
Yeah, it shows here in the article
In
on
college.
my website. A break from the often graphic combat-focused games which dominated the market, Goodbye Volcano High is a cinematic narrative adventure about the end of an era and the beginning of a love story. The top YouTube comment on the trailer says, "This looks like the reveal trailer to a Netflix show, not a game reveal."
Dude, seriously, play that, and tell me how many DeviantArt designs you can find. You're gonna love it. Like this game came from that part of Tumblr your parents tell you not to go to.
You're all horrible people. I hate
The sad thing is, after they banned all the porn, that was the only thing left of
I'm not going
Tumblr.
to go full screen anymore, but I will just do this.
Just look at this fucking DeviantArt
Yeah, we
designs.
can watch it from the side. It's fine.
Okay, fine. You heathens.
Michael, come
Nice.
on. Dude.
Anchovies on pizza? Kill these people. Look at this
Cell
bullshit.
shade animation.
Look at this bullshit. Look at these fucking DeviantArts.
Alright, so they're dinosaur people.
With wings.
Some dinosaurs have wings. What's wrong?
That is not how dinosaurs work.
Yeah, pterodactyls.
That wasn't wings, that was feathers on their fucking limbs. Look at this bullshit and tell me it's anatomically correct. Let go of me, I need to go take my dogs. How could this happen to me? I made my mistakes, got nowhere to run. The night goes on as I am fading away. I'm sick of this life. I just wanna scream. How could this happen to me? Zero gameplay. No, you don't understand, brother. The feelings, the friends that we made along the way are the gameplay. So, I'm not exactly excited about this title, as you can tell. Hey, who knows? Maybe it'll turn out okay, but I'm sorry. I have seen so many, I hate to use that word, cringe-worthy content coming out of similar designs that I just have no hope for that one. Maybe it'll surprise me. Very likely it won't.
All right.
I'm just
I'm
saying.
fucking done with y'all.
All right.
Oh, please. You were thinking the same thing. Shut the fuck up.
No, I haven't seen this. I haven't seen any of these trailers.
Well,
I was counting on you guys to give me some fucking insight.
No.
This is the bullshit that I get.
Inside is
No,
not good
I'm
enough.
done.
I need to force the detail into your
I'm
eyeballs.
done.
Yeah, we got Oddworld Soulstorms. For those, for like the 3 fans of Oddworld that still exist in the world, congratulations. You're getting a sequel. Ghostwire Tokyo finally gets some gameplay. Mr. Mikami himself showed up to, like, no Mikami, I don't know, I forgot his name. No, it was Shinji Mikami, creator of Resident Evil. So it turns out Ghostwire Tokyo is actually a supernatural first-person shooter. Like, the world seems to be going through this bizarre shift where supernatural crap is happening, and instead of guns, your main character has, like, spiritual powers. So you see them doing, like, hand signs like monks, and they have prayer beads on their hands, and they're shooting laser beams and making spells. And apparently one mechanic seems to be like you literally Zandatsu the bad guys. You rip their cores out of their chests. It looks very cool and has this very colorful, I'm not sure if I can call it cel shaded. It was like cartoony, but not, I don't know. I don't know how to describe the art style.
Like
It's
animated.
animesque, maybe?
How do you compare the art style to what other existing franchises?
I can't. I can think of
It's
one.
just unique.
It's very unique. Like, visually, it's very striking. There was this particularly cool moment when you approach what appears to be a ghost girl with, like, an umbrella, and she turns into Slender Man. And I'm like, oh,
It's one of these.
it's one of these
God.
games. But yeah, apparently, for what little we know about Ghostwire, the plot involves people just suddenly disappearing, leaving behind merely their clothing with no trace of themselves, and and you're going to investigate it with your sick-ass spiritual ninjutsu Naruto hand sign powers, Datebayo. And yeah, overall, looks very nice. Really looking forward to that one. I really wish they had shown more, but there seems to be a lot of, I guess the best way I can describe it would be, and do pardon me for sounding stupid saying this, spiritual cyberpunk.
Okay.
like mystical cyberpunk. That's the best way I can put it.
That's nothing stupid about it, but okay.
Let's see. There's some weird thing called Jet the Far Shore, which involves some sort of construction project. Godfall, created by the same dudes that made
I heard that a new
Overwatch ripoffs.
I heard that a new Horizon game was out.
Shown at the end, yes, we got a new Horizon game. I gotta be honest with you, I never had a chance to get the first one. Might try it out. I heard good things about it, and this one looks genuinely fantastic. As usual, we seem to have a following up with the story of the first game. We see the antagonist to reveal himself at the end, and well, as before, it involves the main character Aloy going to these beautiful detailed worlds, fighting these huge mechanical robots that seem to have adapted to becoming part of nature. We see all sorts of animalistic robotic abominations, and there's this very jarring but very beautiful contrast between swimming through this beautiful like lake through the plants and the fish, and just seeing an alligator made of white metal and electric blue wire just swim by you. They feel both incredibly out of place, but like they're part of the environment. It looks really cool. We also have Solar Ash from the creators of Hyper Light Drifter, a really good 2D hack and slash explorer game. This one appears to be a 3D version of it. We didn't get to see much of it, unfortunately, but it looks like it managed to retain a good transition between 3D and 2D. We have Hitman 3. Not much else to say. We got Hitman 3. People are going to get killed. Bald white dude with a barcode on the back of his head. There. Looks cool. Let's see. Little Devil Inside was one that really intrigued us. It seems to be... Go ahead on that one.
Oh my god, dude. That game genuinely looks really fun. It reminds me of the Samurai Jack game that's about to come out soon. And it just looks really fun. I feel like there's no dialogue in the game since there's like no one talking at all, but the main character's like this like cute little adorable little soldier dude just running through like various biomes and stuff, like fighting monsters and stuff. It just looks really fun.
Nice.
There's this fun little thing going on in the trailer where the actions of the explorer seem to coalesce with the actions of an old gentleman in his household. Like the old gentleman going down the stair is contrasted with the soldier going down a mountain. Fighting monsters is contrasted with the old man taking a deuce, and so on and so forth.
Wow.
There's a very I'm not gonna say Tim Burton-esque, but it's like trying to be. I guess the characters look like they're made of shiny paper. You know, like very beautiful crafted origami. And we saw some combat. There's some hack and slash with the sword and the gun, and there's also some mechanics about running and hiding from monsters. But overall, looks like they kept the mystery with a very string-heavy instrument going on. It felt darkly whimsical, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
That's one way to put it.
Well,
hang on a minute.
Well,
You got the trailer there? You want to?
we actually have to start wrapping up. We're 2 minutes away.
Okay, 2 minutes. Let me just get to this one real quick then.
Right, real quick, because I need to make a point.
We got Box Snacks. Looks fucking terrifying. Don't fucking look at that thing. Demon Souls is being remade by the same dudes that made the remake of Shadow of the Colossus. Looks beautiful. People are bitching about it. Deathloop appears to be a first-person rapid-style shooter where a bunch of people are trapped in a town where the day never seems to end, and only by killing 8 targets before the end of the night can you truly survive. Resident Evil Village, Pragmata. It's basically Death Stranding 2. It just looks like Death Stranding 2 with like a lolly robot wife or some shit like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The PS5 one was later released in a very beautiful, sexy style, and I'm looking forward to it. It's shown me at least a few 3 or 4 things that I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on, and they mentioned that there will be more announcements in the future, so please stay tuned because this might not be the last thing they have announced.
All right, Juancho?
Well, probably the most important point we need to make. To this point, we still don't have a fix on the price.
No price, no numbers. They have actively refused to say how much it's going to cost.
We can boil it down to this. A tweet from Cola_IRL. They're a Twitch streamer. Great presentation. How much does it cost? Sony's response. This. Watch your microphone, Michael.
No.
Look at this shit.
Nope. Nope.
Hopping over.
Nope. Jesus.
Yep. There goes Sony.
Watch him as they avoid the question. Jesus.
God.
Sony does not give a fuck. Now, to be fair though, Xbox
To be fair, fuck fair.
No, to be fair, we got to address both sides. Xbox is not saying jack shit about the price of their water cooler either.
About the Xbox Series X,
Yeah.
they're calling it.
So
Well, they haven't actually done a presentation for it yet, have they?
exactly. So far, right now, and I may be lynched for saying this, Sony has the lead on virtue of showing us more content. Now it is up to Xbox to see if they can blow it out of the park. Maybe they can show better exclusives. Maybe they can give us a price tag. Or maybe Sony's waiting for them to announce the price tag so they can purposely lower it and go, what if I was the same thing but $100 cheaper? You know they would do that.
Maybe we'll have to wait and see. So, Juan, your thoughts on the PS5?
I hate you all.
He loves it.
Yeah, he loves
I
it.
can't wait for the PS5. I hate you all. You guys spoiled the experience for me. I hope.
You called us here to sit down and spoil you, and now you're complaining about.
No, I'm saying I called you here so you guys could talk to me, talk about the PS5, and all you could do is riff shit about it left and right. I'm like,
I wasn't ripping shit about
it's
it.
all convenience and shit. I'm like, I checked out.
That had nothing to do with this. No matter how right I was in my incredibly concise and powerful arguments, that had no room for
We're
debate.
done.
We're done. All right. Juan, plug us out, please.
They
Thank you very
hated
much for
him
watching
because
this
he
week's
spoke
live
to
stream edition of the Ravens Flock. Continue to follow us on Facebook.com/TheRavensFlock, Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/RavensFlock online, home of the Wednesday Night War. And of course, follow us here on YouTube.com/RavensFlock, home of the Black Files, Los Amigos Play Live, and the Ravens Flock Live. Please support us on our Teespring store, teespring.com/store/RavensFlock. If you enter the free shipping coupon, the promo code FSHIP2020, you get free shipping on your entire order with us. If you wish to support the Ravens Flock, please do so that way.
Get that merc.
All right,
Angel,
folks.
anything you want to say before we go?
No much else.
I think you said enough.
When they give me the numbers, my wallet will be ready if I feel like it.
Michael, anything you'd like to add?
I doubt it, but I mean,
It would be hilarious if that.
Probably
Yeah.
$3.99.
Probably. Juan, anything you'd like to add? Okay, well, this has been another exciting live edition of the Ravens Flock. We are the Ravens Flock, and we are